Welcome to my world. You're all just a part of it. In Major League Baseball, postseason started today, the very end of April, last day of April. Guess who would be a wild card team in the National League? Well, if you guessed our very own Colorado Rockies, you'd be right. No kidding. Think about this. The two wild card teams would be, wait for it, the Rocks and the Cubs.
Really?
Just imagine one game between the Rockies and the Cubs in Coors Field, or that disaster area called Wrigley Field, where they're reconstructing the whole team and the whole stadium. Winner-take-all playing game with a reward, a game against the New York Mets, a series against the New York Mets, the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Wow. Well, wow. Just imagine, New York, L.A., Cards, Cubs, and in the same sentence, the Rockies. Hard to imagine, huh? Could it happen? There's still May, June, July, August, September, and 4 days in October. Son of Rocktober? By the way, the Rockies own the word Rocktober, so they'd like to be there. It's been a worthless word for the past 7 years. They stole Rocktober away from my close friend Bernie Litzicone, the great columnist in Chicago, then late in his career in Denver. He originated the word Rocktober in 2007. Bernie, who has continued to live in the mountains of Colorado because he loves to ski, is back penning a column for Chicago Sports Look twice a week. Good for Bernie, better for sports and sports writing. He's one of the best in the country. Anyway, the Cubs, whale waste forever, one of my favorite phrases. And the Rockies, even lower than whale waste in the 2010s, are up there with the big boys, at least for the first month of the season. Can they stay there and play meaningful games at the end of the season as the Rockies' new GM wishes? Well, I think the Cubs can. They have a great manager in Joe Madden, who has changed the culture in Chicago and with the Cubs. They have a very intriguing young team that came into Denver at the beginning of the season and took 2 out of 3 in the Rockies' opening home series. The Cubs, I believe, aren't going away. Alas, and sigh. I also believe the Rockies are going away. They play a 3-game series this weekend in San Diego against 3 quality pitchers. Sunday, they face James Shields for a second time in a week. He may end up being the best pitcher this year in the National League. He's already 2-0. Forgive me, Kershaw and Bumgarner, but I think Shields is the best. One victory Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against a good team on the road in a ballpark where runs are scarce would be a major upset, I think, for the Rockies, who allowed 21 runs in their last 2 games at Arizona, a weak-ass team in this division. The Rockies stand somewhat wobbly at 11-10, but that's still good enough for 5th place right now in the National League. What if they had Shields, a real ace, instead of that ace imitator, Cal Kendrick, or the fading Jorge De La Rosa, to go with 3 pretty good young arms who are just a bit outside too often. The Rockies lead the majors in one thing: bases on balls. That's not good. If the Rockies had the bases of balls, BASIS, and had offered Shields $20 million for a year over 5 years, $100 million overall, the balance of power would have shifted in the National League West. The pitcher who led KC to the World Series last season and has won 116 games in his career, he's 2-0 this year, signed with San Diego for $72 million for 4 years. Obviously, getting back to the World Series is not worth $100 million for Dick Monfort. It's not worth what? That $2 million he spent on the party deck. How many games did the party deck win last year on the mound? 2 fewer victories than Shields has this year. We know. Mike Hampton and Denny Nagel. We know. Chicago has the Billy Goat curse, as Les well knows. Boston had that curse of the babe for so long. In Colorado, we're stuck with the Hampton-Nagel curse forever. Don't spend money on a pitcher. He might bite you in the butt. Nice philosophy, losing philosophy. If Shields were on the Rockies side this Sunday, instead of on the mound for the Padres, the Rockies would be in first place in the division and would be playing meaningful games in late September and early October. Instead, one of the great offensive lineups in baseball with as many as 6 potential all-star players is being wasted because of Dick the Miser, who is not Dick the Wiser. Dick Tightwad. Take out the tight. Dick Skinflint. Dick the faint-hearted. The Padres will get to the playoffs following Shields. The Rockies will fall on their shields as usual. We need a new name for a mountaintop in Colorado to honor Dick Monfort. Piker's Peak. I'm Woody Paige, And that's my opinion. Woody's World is sponsored, but they don't agree with my opinion, by Shanahan's Steakhouse. Shanahan's Steakhouse has been, I'm not going to read that. Shanahan's Steakhouse is incredible. Go out there. If you haven't been there for a while, go back. Have the best steak in town, the best service in town, the best wine. I mean, you look at the wall, you just walk down, they have great art on the ceiling there. And not on the ceiling, on the walls. I'm thinking of that mirror on the ceiling.
A lot of Carrie Fell art.
Shanahan's Steakhouse. Make a reservation today. This weekend, with all the stuff going on, go out to shanahansteakhouse.com. That's where you make the reservation.
I think I'm going to go there this weekend and get some dinner and maybe watch the fight on Saturday night. They might have the fight on there.
Yeah.
Call over there, see if they do.